Football has changed, the agents are here, they've taken over, and it is now really the business of football.
This is for the ones who
Well, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy, and boy oh boy, it is kicking off. Sorry the video is so late today. I've been busy doing the do, and wow, I've got home to catch up with all the news. Where do I even begin with this? Diego Costa. I cannot believe this is actually happening. I almost can, right? I've done a few videos on this because they are making massive strides, huge investment. The Chinese are coming, and they have gone big. They have gone very, very big. Diego Costa left out of the Chelsea squad to face Leicester on Saturday after a dispute with Antonio Conte, and wow, it doesn't say which one, but a Chinese club has offered him a deal which could be worth £30 million a year. That is the equivalent of £576,923 a week. And my word, it looks like they may well be getting the coup that they're after. They're after a massive player who was at the top of his game. And Diego Costa is the top scorer in the Premier League right now. Chelsea sitting top of the table with a 5-point gap over Liverpool. And still, players, they just cannot not consider. They have to think about. They have to be taking this seriously. Carlos Tevez has already signed a deal worth 615 grand a week. So it's slightly less, but it's an incredible amount of money. £500,000 a week, £30 million a year, and it appears that it's caused a rift between him and Antonio Conte. Bloody hell, I just cannot believe this is actually happening. I almost can. I've been doing all my research, and the Chinese are basically looking to get themselves a player who's at the top of their game, and there is no better striker in the Premier League right now, or it's debatable. There are very few strikers on his level in the Premier League, and without him, will Chelsea be able to win the league? This is going to put a massive dent in their confidence, in their plans. Conte is already pulling miracles out of the bag, as far as I'm concerned, with that 13-game winning run with the players that he's got at hand. And I know some people will be thinking, what are you talking about? Well, I think it's so far been a tactical masterclass from Conte, barring the Stoke game, where they began to show little holes or the possibility of being exposed, especially in the air, and the Tottenham game, in which Spurs really took advantage of that. Pochettino, Eriksen's crossing. But wow, I am simply blown away by this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if Diego Costa goes to China, to me, it signals a shift. We've already seen the beginnings of it. I know people are in denial. I know people don't want to think about, they don't want to take it seriously. Let me tell you this. China are investing incredible amounts of money for a reason. And that reason is that they are very serious about making China a force in world football. No, they're not involved in the Champions League, but no, they're not the biggest entity on the national scale by any means. I think they're something like 120th in the FIFA rankings. Not that that means very much, but they're not great, right? When you think of top-class football, you don't think of China. However, everything has to start somewhere, and they do have a plan, and it would appear that they are trying desperately to execute that plan as quickly as possible. They're also building the foundations for football to be a serious thing in the near future and in the long-term future by building the biggest footballing boarding school in the world. It's like, well, they call it Hogwarts for football. A place I would have dreamed of going to as a kid. I'm just blown away by this. It's reported anyway that Conte has basically shouted at Diego Costa during training, go to China. That is coming from The Telegraph. That's Matt Law of The Telegraph, who's quite well respected journalist, and also Sky Cover, I don't know how to say his name, but slightly less well respected, but you know, with very similar contacts, I would imagine. This is a huge deal. And Chelsea are already looking to bounce back from that defeat against Tottenham. The big games are still coming up. The league is by no means in the bag just yet. They've got a lot of work to do. There's half the season left, lads. 52, 54 points to play for, or something ridiculous like that. A lot can happen, a lot can change. And you've got to wonder if the likes of Fernando Llorente, who I think they're bringing in, or at least trying desperately to, they may well have even brought him in. I'm slightly behind on the news today, I'm catching up. But is he going to be able to do the same job as Diego Costa? I doubt it very much. He is a very experienced player with very good feet for a big man. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but I do like Fernando Llorente. I liked him 5 years ago. Now, I don't know. He's still definitely going to be, he's very experienced. He'll have top quality movement inside the box. He's aerially brilliant. And I just can't believe this is actually happening. If he accepts the deal, it's a huge deal to me. It's a massive step in the right direction for China. Football has changed. The agents are here. They've taken over. And it is now really the business of football because there is no loyalty anymore. You can be top of the Premier League, top scorer in the league, have the world at your feet. The manager must absolutely love Diego Costa up until now. And it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Staggering offer. Make no mistake about it, they've signed Carlos Tevez, John Obi Mikel, Oscar, Axel Witsel, Hulk, Javinho has been there. Who else? Alex Teixeira. I mean, these are not small names. You may say John Obi Mikel's past his best, and he probably is, but he's also won pretty much everything there is to win in England with Chelsea, and this is mind-blowing. It's actually happening, and it worries me because with Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil deals not yet tied up, how desperate are agents to get things like this sorted? How important is it that you're playing at a top level? And much in the same way as, it's probably not the same way, but I think about it like this as well. If a player is willing to go to a club, like, no offence to West Ham fans, but West Ham fans have been sold a dream. New stadium, aspirations of being in Europe, achieving great things in the near-term future. That's the dream that West Ham owners are selling to players when they're signing on the dotted line, or they're trying to. All you have to do really is pump more money into your dream selling, and you can tempt them to China. We're seeing it happen. Yes, Tevez is at the end of his career. Oscar isn't. He might not have been playing football, but he certainly could have found a European team to play for. He certainly could have been in a Champions League lineup. There's no doubt in my mind. The fact that he wasn't involved at Chelsea is by the by. That doesn't mean that China is the next best thing. But in terms of the financials that we're talking about, it's ridiculous amounts of money. These guys can provide for their families umpteen times over for the next 4 generations for about 2 or 3 years' work. And that's got to be what they're thinking. Agents are also getting massive cuts out of these deals. Massive cuts. For the Axel Witsel deal, I think his dad gets 15 million euros. And the agent gets 15 million euros as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but from what I've read, it's just staggering amounts of money. It's mind-blowing stuff. And now Diego Costa, the subject of an £80 million bid from a Chinese side. I don't know which one it is just yet, but to me this is breaking news. I know it's been out there all day, but I've been at work. By the way, had the first full day at the new job, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I just want to say thanks to everyone who's sent me nice messages and whatnot. It means a lot. It went quite well. I know that I can do better, but I'm happy with it so far. And more importantly, it sounds like the people who I'm doing it for are happy as well. If you want to check that out as well, I'll leave a link in the description to the Facebook page where the video is being hosted. But yeah, a mad day, just a mad day. I've also come back. One other thing I want to talk about, we'll keep this one quite short today. I've got to pack. I'm supposed to be going to Barcelona in the morning and I haven't even started packing. But one other thing I want to talk about is an interview that I saw today, which you've obviously seen as well. If you haven't, you've been living under a rock because it's been all over social media, all over Sky Sports all day long. And that was Thierry Henry interviewing Premier League Player of the Month, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. In fact, I just want to go back because Antonio Conte, first Premier League manager, I think, in his first season to win 3 Manager of the Month awards in a row. Just an unbelievable achievement, especially since, I'll say this again, they don't have all the players that they need. He's working with like a 12-man squad, a 15-man squad at tops. He's done barely any rotation. He is utilising players like Victor Moses, who in positions which they're not used to playing, and it's not going to be their strength. And in the midfield, they are lacking. I know that they've bought Kante and he's brilliant. He's brilliant at getting the ball back. He's a workhorse. He's got incredible lungs, and There's not many that can do that kind of thing at the level that he can do in world football right now. However, they need changes in midfield if they're to be seriously challenging on all fronts. And obviously they don't have European football this year, so it's a bit of benefit to them. But the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Nemanja Matic and Kante, to me, cannot work together efficiently at the level that they need to be at. They need runners who can pass the ball going forward and have more to offer than Kante does in an attacking sense, and also have more energy than the likes of Nemanja Matic and Cesc Fabregas, who to me is still a fantastic passer of the ball. There aren't many on his level as far as picking out guys from deep or slotting through balls through. But he needs to be free. He can't be involved in this tracking back and working defensively thing. He needs two other guys to do that job. And at the moment, I think there's a real imbalance there. So I think it's amazing that what Conte has done so far. And this is a massive dent in the hopes of that. But anyway, to switch back, Thierry Henry, Paul Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic doing an interview today, earlier in the day or yesterday or whenever it was, recorded, and I just want to say that I really enjoyed the interview, if only because I love characters, I love charisma in a player, and it's something that the game really lacks right now. And these three are just, it's the peak of what I expect or what I'm looking for as well. I'm looking for Ronaldinho's, real personas, and these guys have just got it, Cantona's and whatnot. These are the guys, Henry himself. You can see that these guys ooze charisma, confidence, self-belief, and it's very motivating. And to see Zlatan Ibrahimovic with Pogba, I've said this before, but just to reiterate, it's a wonderful thing. It's very shrewd signings. Not only have you got two fantastic players with incredible ability, Pogba with just fantastic potential to achieve great things in the game. I've said this before as well, but when I interviewed Patrick Vieira, dropping that, he said that Paul Pogba could be the best midfielder in the world. He saw himself in him more so than any other player in world football right now. And Zlatan really brings him back down to earth, because he could potentially be a bit of a loose cannon if it wasn't for someone like Zlatan there, who is just so alpha male, it's unbelievable. And where Pogba with other people will be just like that, with Zlatan, he's like a little kid. And that can only inspire him to achieve the great things that Zlatan has done throughout his career. And make no mistake, Zlatan is still, he's not in his prime, but he's at the top of his game right now, and it's going to be rubbing off and working together. They're starting to combine brilliantly. Just a fantastic combination, and like I said, I think it's a very shrewd signing bringing Zlatan on board with Pogba, because it just knocks him back down to earth, and he really needs that if he is going to have that inspiration to carry on in his career and achieve the things that Zlatan has. Anyway, this is just a short little video because I've left you without one today. I hope you're all well and enjoying the regular content, and make sure you subscribe and drop the video a like if you breathe oxygen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on all the stuff that we've talked about in this, whether it's Costa staying, going, money ruining football, or the temptation of it being just too much. Would you turn down a job that paid you nearly 10 times the amount that you're earning in your current job and would enable you to retire in like 4 years? It's a very interesting topic. See the direction that football is going in. There's lots of change abound at the moment, and unfortunately money rules everything. Will Chelsea be able to win the Premier League without Costa? Will he end up going? Will they be able to fix this? He has been left out of the squad. But yeah, we're wrapping this up now. I've got to go and pack. For now though, I've been hughwizzy, and this has been controversial. Peace.